Okay, for some reason they cut the feed right in the middle of Coach Pope talking. So we're going to throw it to a break now. We'll be back in just a minute with more No Filter Radio with Alan Cutler here on ESPN 92.5 and 1300 AM.
The Alan Cutler Show on ESPN 92.5 and 1300 AM and on the ESPN Lexington app. Presented by Republic Bank.
Hi, this is Alan Cutler. Have a no filter comment? Hit the text line, 859-381-1313. 859-381-1313. Hi, this is Alan Cutler. The Quantrill Auto Group has a great deal for this month. Subaru. The Outback is special, so check this out. 0%. That's right, 0% interest for 36 months. And if you want to spread it out to 72 months, 1.9%. What a deal. 0% interest for 36 months. Don't forget, the Quattro family of dealerships is the right place to get your next Subaru, and they promise you the best in sales, service, and no gimmicks.
My name is Terry Schultz, CEO for the Rutherford County Area Habitat for Humanity. Republic Bank has really been a game changer. They have invested not only financially, but time to really listen so that we can move our mission forward. What I like about Republic Bank is they've come in asking, what are your needs? And I don't know that you get that any other place.
That's Terry's story. Now let's get to work on yours. Republic Bank, time to thrive. Member FDIC.
Houchins Insurance Group is proud to partner with Auto Owners Insurance, a company that provides opportunity for independent agents to make insurance simple for their clients, offering risk management services that range from a renter's policy for your college student to home and auto coverage for your entire family. Houchins Insurance Group assures you that nobody works harder to keep you protected from life's uncertainties. Reach out to AJ Boss or Zach Bennett at 859-263-2771 to see if Auto Owners Insurance makes sense for you.
This is Brent Clark with my daughter, Carlisle.
We want to help you get ready for the holidays. So if you are just headed around the block or far away, stop in, gas up, and get some yummy treats for the car. Check out our holiday specials, including Mentos or Trident 5 bottle pack gum for $3.99 or Uncle Ray's potato chips 3-ounce bags for $1.99.
So no matter where your holiday travels take you, stop in any Clark's Pump & Shop and get stocked up on holiday candy, and thank you for being a customer.
Clark's Pump & Shop. Return, refresh, refuel.
Discovered you're bad at sports wagering? Brad Taylor can help. The Bottom Line with Brad Taylor, presented by Circus Sports. Weekdays at 2 on ESPN 92.5 and 1300. Back to No Filter Radio with Alan Cutler. Podcasts on Apple, Spotify, and Google. Monday through Friday.
Alan, you need to unmute your mic.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, Chris. Alan's got his mic muted, but he should be good to go now. Alan, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes. There we go.
Okay, Chris, give me a second. Apologize for the technical problem. Thank you, Sean. Recapping the Pope press conference, the big news is Lowe is playing. Now, he couched it by saying, he's going to full practice today. That's a coach's way of saying if there's no problem, he's playing and starting. He said something interesting, which I thought was brutally honest, and I loved it because it was honesty. In the short term, this wasn't good for the team. In the long term, not that you wish this, it was actually good for the team that Lowe is out because they looked at different kind of options. The JQ is ahead of schedule. He's doing 5-on-0, which is when you're running the court. There's no defense. And he says JQ is racing up and down the floor, that he's way ahead where his knee is supposed to be. And there's one big strength test that happens in 3 weeks. And he said, again, he's running the court really well. And then a chunk of the press conference was on Chandler, Colin Chandler. And I'm staying by this a long time ago. I don't really think I stuck my neck out. I said he's an NBA player, going to play in the NBA forever. And at the time, some people said I was nuts, and I'm okay. And you might still think I'm nuts, and you can't overreact from one game. But he has the intensity and the talent, and he can leap. And he's got a great shot, especially when he sets his feet. And Pope told a great story about how after he took him out of the game the other night, he was mad at himself. Mad at himself. He played really good defense, but he didn't like his offense. So what he did was talk to himself and say, when he gets back in and Pope pushes this, the one practice we were able to go to, he told the team, make the simple play. And there have been times so far they have not made the simple play. So Chandler said himself, I'm going to make the simple play. I'm going to make the simple play. I'm going to make the simple play. And in the second half, he was, guess what? Spectacular in the second half. I'm telling you, this is a big time player. And I was on it first. Nobody in their right mind would have said he's going to play in the NBA, but I can see these things. That's just me. So that's all good. And we will replay some of the Collins sound bites. And he talks about how he has a chance to be great and that he's a killer and that people in his family don't like to play board games with him because he pushes that much. Also, Brandon will be possibly redshirting. They haven't decided yet. He loves his potential. He understands that the light bulb has not gone on for Brandon Hawthorne yet, but when it happens, he's going to be really, really good. Right now, his head is spinning, which is no big deal. Right now, it sounds like Cam Williams' head is spinning, which is no big deal. And Reese Potter has agreed to redshirt, which I think is a smart move for Reese for his Kentucky career and his professional career. Because if he can put on, as I said immediately, as soon as he committed to Kentucky, if he can put on another 15, 20 pounds of muscle in this offseason of working out, and he's probably lifting weights tons more than anybody who would be playing for obvious reasons, he can help this team and help himself next year. I don't doubt it. He's got that kind of potential. So Kentucky getting ready to play again Valparaiso tomorrow night. The ladies play Monmouth tonight. And now, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, my friend, thanks for your patience, Christian Alt, number 2 all-time in tackles in the history of Kentucky in the UK Athletics Hall of Fame. One tough dude. We're going to go into football, but now you are watching basketball. And what did you think of the game the other night?
I got bits and pieces of it because of the strike they get on. I was at work, so I was going into Caesars to catch bits of it. And especially when he did that dunk, he had that place was packed. I guess most people couldn't get the game at their house and stuff, so they were out to Red Mile. But I like this team, and I think they're Final Four material.
And they're only going to get better. And Kentucky's in a boat like about every team. They're figuring it out. Pope has not figured this team yet. We used to hear Cal say it all the time this time of year, I got to figure this team out. And they're just figuring out. One of the things that I really like, he's pushing defense so much harder this year than last year. It's not even funny. They weren't even a top 50 team defensively. And he says, okay, I want to be number 1, and that's nice. But you know what? If they're a top 20 team, it's good enough to get to the Final Four with everything else coming together, in my opinion. That doesn't guarantee it. They end up being a lower part of the top 10, and their offense comes together like I absolutely believe it will, although the first half offense the other day was like watching paint dry. It was freaking horrendous. If their defense turns to the top 20, and I can easily see that, because it was interesting how some of the guys said, yeah, he's drumming it in our heads, this defense. And one of the things Pope said the other night, yeah, our offense is behind because we're spending so much time on defense. I love that. And Sean Woods is coming up at 1 o'clock, has been pushing defense. And he said last year many times on the show that they didn't work on defense enough. So that's changed. So nice to have you watch a little basketball, Christian Alt.
UK basketball, I mean, I'm more into it when I know the people there, they've been there for a while. I like my 2-year players at the least, and the way the football program was going, so I thought I'd dive into basketball a little bit earlier than I usually do. But I like the defense. I think they got 10 deep, and I like it. I just like the way the ball hardly ever sits still. I don't care if they're hitting the threes or not, but as long as no one's just trying to ball hog, I hate that. Pass, get the open shot. Like you said, take the simple shot. Keep it simple.
Yeah, keep it simple. Let me throw this, and then we'll get into Kentucky. And so, this is the rumor season of coaches. And I'm not going to tell you I know this 100% because I don't. But I think it's fun talking about some of these rumors, and especially when you're talking to some people who are tied into a particular program. You with me on that?
I agree.
So there are some rumors out there about Jeff Brom to Auburn. And the only thing that surprises me about that is, look, I don't know Jeff personally. back in the day, I interviewed him. I know people that know him really well. I think he's a great guy. And if you know, it's pretty simple. And I'm not knocking Stoops here, but if he was the coach of Kentucky, which would never happen because he's a Louisville guy, and that's fine. But I'm telling you, if he was the coach of Kentucky, you would like him. You would just like him. And you would say, this is a really good coach. Anyway, there are rumors about that. And as an outsider, and I've talked to a couple of people in Louisville who know a lot more than I do, the only thing, it wouldn't be money to have him leave. He's got his whole family around him. He's making millions. He's driving a car that's 20 years old. I don't, if you're making millions and you're happy and your family's around you, you're a school, there are people who will turn these jobs down. I know everybody thinks everybody has money, but not. It's, if you're making $5 million, whatever the hell he makes, I mean, can you live on that?
Yes, you can. Does he really want to come to the SEC where it's like an NFL game every week in and week out?
I think he has a challenge in his soul that he'd like to win a national championship. And I don't have the answer, but most people will guess that you can't win at Louisville. And I would change for only one way. If you can dominate the ACC, you're in the playoffs all the time.
You can replace Clemson.
Yeah, well, Clemson has replaced themselves.
True that. I would stay at Louisville, and that way I could go healthier into the playoffs rather than the SEC teams because they're beat up at the end of the year, and you're not in a conference like that, and you can dominate the ACC in my opinion. And plus, I think most recruits see that too. They want to shine. SEC has this. I think it's the greatest conference, but if I'm a coach, unless I'm going to a school that's going to give me that money that I need to win, I'm going to where I know I can dominate.
See, now you just had the big point. Do I have the money I need to win? Here's what I do not know. I do not know if he's convinced he has enough money to win at Louisville. I've heard some things. I'm not going to tell you I know, but I think that would be the number one thing of him leaving Louisville if he didn't think he had enough money to win. Because I'm with you. When people say, it's the ACC, it's not as good. To hell with that. If you start dominating the league, you're in the playoffs. And I couldn't agree with you more. You're going to get banged up for its football. It's always tough, but it's not the same pounding as playing in the SEC every single week. So in an odd way, I think the ACC is an advantage if you have a great team and a great program. So anyway, there are some rumors about him to Auburn. I can tell you this, somebody who knows tons more than me, who is really plugged in the state of Alabama, and that's as far as I'm gonna go. This person has heard two names, which makes sense. Summerall, the former Kentucky linebacker, who's done a spectacular job at Troy and Tulane, and Eli Drinkwitz.
Well, as soon as you said linebacker, I'm going to go with him. LB Pride all the way. I like Summerall. Kentucky, he's invested. I think he would feel comfortable. His family would be cherished here. One thing UK is
no, Chris, you didn't hear me. Auburn.
Yes. No, he can't go to Auburn. No.
I knew you were.
No.
Listen, okay, so let me say this again. My source in the state of Alabama, who's very, very tied in, just names he hears. This guy is really, really plugged in. Says he's not hearing Jeff Brom's name to Auburn. Is not. Mm-hmm. And the two names he's hearing is Drinkwitz of Missouri and Summerall, former Kentucky linebacker, who's from the state of Alabama. Those are the two names that he is hearing. That's all I'm saying. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but I am guaranteeing you that it's worth me saying this based upon the people that I'm now talking to. That's all.
This might all be moot if we went out. Can I change my mind?
No, wait a second. We're talking about two different things. You're not talking about Kentucky. I'm talking about Auburn.
I'm talking about Auburn and their coaches and stuff like that. But I want Summerall, if we don't win out, to come to Kentucky. It's that simple. I'm on Kentucky. I don't really care about if Auburn gets a coach. Now I'm worried about Kentucky.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's get it straight. I'm concentrating on Auburn. No, I've had a friend went down there to the game and said their facilities are off the chain compared to ours. He says there's no difference. He said they love football. I said no way. He said go next time, and I will. I will go see what the competition has to offer. But if Stoops wins out, I want to keep him.
Well, he will stay if he wins out, unless he leaves on his own volition.
Yeah.
Unless he goes to Mitch and say, I want out. Let's negotiate, because he could always say, I'm not going to negotiate, and then he could say, well, screw it, then I'm going to stay. And I would think whatever the hell it is, they have enough of a relationship they can figure it out. No, the point is this: to me, Saturday. Here's what's happened. How many times have you watched ESPN? Is there ESPN? It's not on my TV. That's
they do it every year. God, it pisses
So,
me off.
and it's good shtick when they talk about, okay, it's November, and if this team doesn't win, they're out of the playoffs. It's a good promo. It's good shtick. It works, and it's all true. I'm telling you what Stoops has been doing, and I said it last week. He is playing to save his job. I don't care how else you want to put it. Had they lost last week, I thought he was done. I called last weekend's game against Auburn the Fire Bowl. That whoever lost was going to be gone. I mean, and that's no basis. Everybody was guessing the obvious that they were going to make a change at Auburn. And I think the Auburn coach fired himself in the summertime when he was playing golf, when he's supposed to be doing his job. So they said, okay, you have a short leash, and if you stink, we're going to get rid of you. That's as obvious as nose in my face. But point is this, Stoops can change the narrative. But if he loses Saturday, I don't see how he stays. I just do not see how he stays.
To be honest, I think we're going to win Saturday. I'm almost positive. It's going to, I hope it's cold, 30% chance of rain.
Not going to be cold. It needs to be cold.
It's probably cold for them. We get that little wind whipping up every now and then, but if the crowd shows up, we got them. If it's a Tennessee crowd, no. Stadium was dead on our side. They was having a great time singing their song. We can beat Florida. And I think the players know they can too. I think it's the snowball's going downhill right now.
Well, two things. One, I do believe, and I am predicting Kentucky will beat Florida. I've already said it.
Mm-hmm.
Two of their top three wide receivers might not play for Florida. Everybody's got injuries and those kinds of things. And to the soundbite I played early, and you and I have talked about it, and I've been saying this for weeks, these kids have not quit. And David Gusta's comment was that he's proud of the guys in the locker room that they haven't quit. I think these kids have been together, and I think it's a credit to the players, but you also have to credit Stoops because he lost the team, as we talked about, and you were very strong. You were very strong last year losing to Louisville. So you know what? You want to complain about Stoops, fair, but you also have to compliment him when it's fair. And if you want to say it's players that have gotten themselves together, I don't give a rat's. He's the head coach. He is the head coach, and you have to give him whatever percentage it is. Maybe it's 90%. I don't know. All I know, he's the head coach, and these kids have not quit on him, and that is a compliment to Mark Stoops. And with all the people that want to see him gone, you got a compliment. I got one more on the throw at you, then I want you to do your own rant. I'm not telling anybody how to think. Everybody who thinks is fine. One, I always want Kentucky to win even when I'm critical. One thing has nothing to do with another. I know since you know me, you understand it. And I think most people listening understand it. But I'm going to tell you what, I'm rooting for Kentucky a little more than normal. You want to know why? I can't stand it. Now, you disagree with me. I don't care. I can't stand it when there are people, and I don't know how big this is. I don't know if it's a silent minority or whatever. I have no feel as to percentage. There are some people out there who want Kentucky to lose, so they change Mark Stoops. I can't, whether it's at Kentucky or St. John's, I wouldn't give a rat's. I can't stand that philosophy. You're a fan or you're not. Okay. And if it's like a team to leave and win, and because of that, I'm rooting harder for these kids on Saturday.
And the thing about it is, I'm close enough where I can hear him yelling and cussing at the referees and the motivation on the team. And I watch everything. And my main thing is, like I said, you watch that interior thing. No one's giving up. And if he can bring them back and they can have a winning season, if they go to a bowl game, to me, all is forgiven. I told you, it make me happy. Let me go to a bowl game. That's all I want out of him. Whether he comes back the next years after that, that's between him and Mitch Barnhart. If you got a chance to get tomorrow, might be a shot in the dark, but I think Stoops has got his second win. Been here, 12 years? Gave us 10 good ones, I think. And like you said, you get content sometimes. Who in their life has not got content? And then all of a sudden you're like, oh man, I let this slip. I got to get back. And you get that far back. I think he's got the far back because where else is he going to go? And I think he wants it bad just to say, I told you so. And he can tell me, I told you so all he wants to as long as we go to the bowl game. Everybody loves a winner.
Well, if he leaves here on his own accord, let's say they win 6 games or something, he's not going to get a job on this level. Not
true. Yeah.
The only way he gets a job on this level if Iowa opens up, if they want him. It's just like when Eddie Sutton got hired at Oklahoma State, there was no other school on that level was going to hire Eddie Sutton. None. Zero. Yeah. Kaput. Yet when he was hired at Oklahoma State, he did a hell of a job. And some other ADs who were scared of hiring him, for a good reason, by the way, scared of hiring him, probably said, I wish I looked at it even more.
Yeah. And one thing about Stoops, If bounces a different way, and we kept our wide receivers or someone that stepped up like number one earlier in the season, we could have had Ole Miss and Texas. That's 2 wins that we're not that far behind. I'm not saying we're gonna win the SEC, but we're close. I think next year they can be very viable in the Southeastern Conference. I'm not saying they're gonna win it, but third or fourth, I can see that.
Well, if you can't keep Cutter Bowler, you have problems. This is Stoops' 13th year, and I would venture to say I don't really count the first year because there was no talent here, and there was nothing established about a culture, and they were too intense. So I kind of throw that out. And the second year, as I recall, it was better, but not really good. But then in 15, they started to play better in the fourth quarter. And that's what started turning us around. And then when they started going to bowl games, they were winning some games in the fourth quarter that they had lost for years and years and years.
Oh,
and years.
yeah. I
and he was on
remember that.
TV saying, this is how he's turning it around because they sucked in the fourth quarter. And now all of a sudden his team showed some toughness. I don't know why people forget this, but they showed some toughness and he won in the fourth quarter. And that's when it changed around. So I don't know. He's had about 8 good years.
He deserves his flowers at the end if he whatever he decides to do.
Or it might not him deciding. I don't see how he survives if he don't win Saturday. He had to win last Saturday. He has to win this Saturday. And by the way, after this Saturday, if you win and it falls totally apart, he could still get fired. But you would think with these kids playing as hard as they are, with these kids wanting to win, with these kids getting momentum off last Saturday, if they win this Saturday, you're going to think this is nuts. If they keep on winning when they play Louisville, even though Louisville's going to be favored, I don't want to hear it. I don't want anybody to say they can't beat Louisville. I think that's silly. I've seen this rivalry for most of my adult life, it seems like.
And you can throw the records out.
They're
going to play.
It's an old cliche, but it's true. There are times Kentucky had the best team and didn't win. There are times Louisville had the best team and they didn't win. And they keep on winning going to Louisville game. Because Louisville be favorite, to me, I don't bet, but that would be a bet to take for Kentucky. But that's just me.
True. But I really hope we win Friday, Saturday, and I hope the UK fans support in this one game and see what we do with that support. If we don't have that support, the kids are going to see it. I don't need that top level to be all blue. Please, no. Show up.
Well, first of all, I don't think anybody from Florida is coming for 2 reasons. They suck. The second reason is they suck. The third reason, they have no idea who the real coach is going to be. The fourth reason, C1 and 2. Now, if Florida was undefeated, do I think there'd be more fans here? Yes. If Florida was undefeated and Keeneland was still on and it was warmer, would there be more fans? Absolutely. I think Florida's going to bring almost nobody to this game. I would be shocked if they have anything that you would consider a substantial following of fans. I think it's going to suck. If you're a Florida fan, why would you show up? Unless you got all the money in the world, all the campers that show up, and unless you want to camp because you love to camp, right? And you want to come up here on a Thursday and camp out Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday, and leave Sunday, as a lot of people do in the South. I can see that, but that's not the majority of people.
Yeah, that and when's college laid out for Thanksgiving? Some of them might come up.
When's what? You couldn't hear.
College. When did they lay out for Thanksgiving? Is it this weekend or last weekend?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, now you got me worried about the crowd. We'll see. I'll be there. You'll hear my voice.
You're saying you have a big mouth like me?
Oh, yeah. I just need somebody to talk to. I like a good debate. I just don't want to be outnumbered.
Well, in the press box with that thick glass, we can't hear you.
Yeah.
And when it gets cold, I'm not afraid to say that I'm a wimp. And I'm very happy to be indoors if it's raining or snowing or cold and that kind of stuff.
Oh, man, I love brisk weather. It just makes you feel alive.
Okay. You're a tough guy. I'm not.
All right.
All right. Let me throw this at you because you're a linebacker. The kid from USC, Green, I thought played a hell of a game the other day. Nobody is talking about him. He was all over the field. The linebackers, which I think have tremendously underachieved all year as a group, were very good against Auburn. And here's where I need you to decipher this. Where the linebacking core, was it that good because the defensive line put on so much pressure that they had room to run, or were they just better? But that is, you tell me, that's by far the best game this group of linebackers have played this year. One, did you see it this way? And two, Green, he's a big man and he can run and he's not afraid to hit you. It's like, where has this kid been all year? But maybe it took some time to him to adjust to being in Lexington, Kentucky. What did you think of Green, and what did you think about? I mean, I thought Alex Afari started off good and then he disappeared.
Yeah,
He
it's like
disappeared.
this. Yeah, when you get in that SEC, that defense really came together that game. I was proud of them. The score dictates 10-3, but I thought the secondary flew through the ball. I thought everybody, when you guy went to the ground, you had guys coming up, and as far as that pass rush, they were just relentless. I saw more swim techniques and people just butting ahead. I thought we was more vicious and dominated the whole game, to be honest with you. And that's why I said they did not give up. I think they're going to do all right. I want to see how the rest of the season plays out. Because as a whole, now the offense still has some problems. I'm not going to say that, but I think Cutter is really taking control and he's starting to be a leader. He's gaining that command presence that he needs to lead them in the SEC. If you know what I mean. If you know what I mean by command presence, when you walk in the huddle,
Yeah.
you just want to bust through the wall for somebody. And when you get that, it gives you that fourth quarter energy.
You know, in the short, sorry for stepping on you, Chris. In the short amount of time that Calzada was the quarterback, you never saw him. I'm not saying you have to get in anybody's faces, but never really take over, never be demonstrative. Maybe he wasn't comfortable yet. Cutter's not afraid to show his emotion. And I think this program has really, first of all, you have to perform. If you have emotion and you don't perform, you suck. But I mean, he's performing and he shows emotion. And I think people are following him. I think he's more of a leader. I wonder how much he feels it. I can feel he's a leader. They wanted somebody to follow. They have somebody to follow now.
Yeah. And the thing about it is he's gaining confidence because if he had this at the beginning doing spring practice, he would have been a starter. So evidently he's developing this thing. Because I remember going to college, man, can I play on this level? As long as I start by a junior year, I think I'll be all right. I ended up starting as a freshman because when I came in, I played the hardest. It was just, it's different levels to people's different talent. And you'll reach that once you get confidence in yourself. I doubted myself. I doubted the play call. But once I got it, it was like a light clicked on. If they had started me my freshman year, I probably played like crap. That red shirt year helped me so much to where I knew the plays. I just reacted, and I had that instinct to where I watched so much film. I just knew everything was slow motion. That's all I can explain. Everything's slowing. The game is slowing down for him. He's gonna get better. Next year's gonna be unbelievable. I'm telling you.
If he stays.
He's staying. You the opposite man today. He's staying. He's a Kentucky guy. He's gonna stay. He better. I got 50 cents I can loan him. It's all about money nowadays, ain't it?
No, because I'll tell you what, there's a number of guys on this team and other teams that could have left for money and did not. Not everybody leaves for money. Now, in some cases, you end up getting more money to the school you're at. In some cases, you do not. You do not. Cutter could have left before this year. He wants to be a Kentucky Wildcat. He just does. But everything has a breaking point. And what that is for him, honestly, I don't have a clue. But if it's close, he wants to be here. Ty Bryant wants to be here. And that's really, really important.
It's like everybody wants Kentucky to see, but you've got to put the effort in it. And the thing, when I was searching for my house, the guy said most people like these big houses, but they get beer money, but champagne taste. As a community, we want a good football team and a basketball team. You have to put the effort in, and you have to support them. You got to remember, it's the kids. You can go there, show up, and put a bag over your head if you don't want stoops, but let them kids know you're there to support them. I need you there myself. It just gives a feeling when you look up in that crowd and you see people there. It means so much, and it's such a period of time to where you've got a group of kids that can come together, and you got a quarterback that's probably going to go pro. I think it will be a first rounder myself. He's got the size and everything. His confidence is going to be great. Get the support, let the people see it, and get the right receivers and offensive linemen here. We'll have a great year.
If he keeps on developing, I can easily see him being a first rounder.
Oh, most definitely.
He's not 5'10", like Pavia.
Oh, yeah, he's going to have his
size.
problems. He can go play for the Rocks team, AFL, whatever that is. It's, football's football.
Yeah, I said last year he's a Canadian football talent, but you know what? I'm not so sure now because there are short quarterbacks. And by the way, I saw a feature on him on network I used to watch. What was it called? Oh yeah, ESPN. They had a feature on him, and he was in a t-shirt and stuff. And I'm not surprised, but he's thick.
Yeah.
In other words, he might be not tall enough, but it's not like he's thin. He is really well built. And I got to tell you, the two quarterbacks I like a lot because they're getting overlooked are the kid at Tennessee and the kid at Vandy quarterbacks. Kid at Tennessee has a spectacular touch. And, I'm a big believer in getting snaps. He got a ton of snaps before he got to the level of Tennessee. And neither kid's going to get drafted high. They might not get drafted at all. I haven't seen any draft lists. It's too early and stuff like that. But I think both of them could play in the NFL.
All they need is a shot. That's all anyone wants. I mean, who wants anything given to them? You're not going to appreciate it. If you have to work hard and you finally achieve that, when you look back on your legacy in life, it's just a feeling you can't describe. It's just like, man, I did it my way. I didn't take no lip. I had a low here. I got back up. And the thing about this life is just trying to put all those highs together and limit the fees. And that's how I live it.
Well, two things. One, we both think Kentucky's going to be Florida. Two, I know nothing, but I'm expecting a bad Kentucky crowd on Saturday night. I'm not ripping anybody. I just don't feel it. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's packed. And I wonder how many students will show up. And I wonder if maybe, and I don't care why they show up, they do whatever they want. But I wonder if they show up because it's a nice game and you can party and then you can party afterwards. Life as a college kid, I think I remember that stuff. I hope it's a great crowd. I'm going to be surprised if it's a great crowd.
Well, I think we're cooking for 500 at the K House. I cook at the K House every game for the football, basketball. If you ever let it to the UK, you can come over and we're on a grill in the back. And we got to be there like 5 hours before the game starts. So we're cooking for 500. But last game, we cooked for 500, and a lot of people didn't show up.
So a lot of leftover food.
Yeah. Dog was eating hamburgers for a long time. There's a lot of leftover food. But the thing about it is, I go for the fellowship, and I'm going to support UK no matter what. To casual fans, you have your right, and people are going to listen to you. But like I said, we can beat Florida, and we might win out 7-5. We got somewhere to go after Christmas, during Christmas, because they ain't going to get nothing else.
I am not going to be surprised when they win Saturday if they end up at a bowl game. Not going to be surprised. Because let's put it this way. I know Tennessee Tech scores 1 million points and it's a different level of football. But if you can't beat Tennessee Tech, and I'm not being disrespectful to them, and I know they want to beat Kentucky because it'll be something they'll remember their whole lives, and that's what sports is, more power to them. But, if you can't beat Tennessee Tech, you don't deserve to go to a bowl game. And look at it this way. You win Saturday. You beat Tennessee Tech, and all of a sudden, this is a totally different. If you can't beat either Vandy or Louisville after that, you don't deserve to go. You don't deserve to go. And you know what? If they go, they could win a bowl game, and all of a sudden, you know what? You have to give Stoops credit for turning it around. I think this whole thing is totally up in the air.
Yeah, you get in where you fit in. And like I said, if the wins come, we'll go with it. If they don't, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Something in your mind about Kentucky? I got 20 seconds that we haven't talked about that you were so passionate about, Mr. Chris Chenault, former Studley linebacker at Kentucky and UK Athletics Hall of Fame, where you should have been a long time ago, but at least you're there now.
My thing about the fan support for UK football, it's been up and down. Like I said, we mostly go there for the kids and the fellowship, and everybody knows Lexington has a limit venue on what to do. Show up. If you don't want to support Stoops, show up for the kids and for our university. I know basketball season is coming here. We're going to have a great year there. But none of that, let's not forget who brings in the most money to the university, which is the football team. If it don't survive, we don't get the top recruits in basketball. So you watch my back, I watch yours. Fans, show up.
There's only one little thing I disagreed with you.
What was that?
Yeah, football does pay the bills. And I remember when I learned this in the early 80s, I was honestly surprised. But if nobody shows up for football, basketball's still going to get the recruits. They'll find the money. They'll find the money.
Yeah, but I had a good point. You just dissected that whole little thing just to get that little point in. We could have just.
Am I right or wrong?
You're right. Yeah, but you're right.
Wait a second. Hold on. One more time. I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, you're right.
Are you in pain?
I tell you what, who was it? I think I was watching something. I think it was DeMarcus Cousins said that once Calipari left, the UK wouldn't get the recruits again. And I think Rondo said, "Dude, it's Kentucky. We stand on Kentucky as a basketball school. Football is in the way but we're in the SEC. So Kentucky's gonna always be Kentucky, and they're always gonna get their fans for basketball, man. But football is this close, y'all. Let's not mess it up. We're this close.
Bless you, brother. Hopefully you'll grace us time next week. And although it's really good radio, I enjoy the conversation tremendously.
Oh, I'm gonna be ready for this game. This I think this might be my last home game because I think against Tennessee I got to be out of town. Hopefully I can change that, but I'm gonna have a good time. I'll be ready.
There you go. You're ready now. As we were talking,
when you talk football, I do.
You're leaning forward more.
Yeah. It don't take much. I love football. I'll pull up when I see little kids playing in the park. That's just me.
No, your shoulders were getting tight when
you're
the best, Chris. God bless you.
See you next week. Be nice, America. Peace.
By the way, I don't know if you've heard it. We stuck that in the open.
Okay, get in where I fit in.
Yeah, no, because it's a lovely way to stick in the open. Be nice, everybody. We put that in the open. It's staying there. It's a lovely thing that we all.
It has to. I look at the world today. It's whatever, but in our own little environment, we do what we can.
Yes. Bless you, man. Have a great day.
You too. God bless.
Talk to you. Christian, Sean, he's great.
Yeah, he's very, very good.
Yeah. Not only could you see him tightening up when he got passionate about football.
He gets excited, man.
He does.
His life. Football is life.
And I'm not saying this for hype. He was a great football player. Let's put it this way. He's number 2 all-time in tackles, and he'll have that mantra forever because anybody who's ever as good as him, and somebody's going to come along, be a better linebacker. It's going to happen, right? But they're not going to stay that long.
Yeah.
So some of these records that will never be broken, just not going to be broken because of that. But that doesn't mean, how many tackles? He had a game, he had over 20 tackles. I think over 25 tackles against Tennessee.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. He was all over the field, and he could run, and he could hit. And here's the other thing. It's really smart. He was really smart, and that's going to be our clip of the day, talking about how he doubted himself when he first started. Then he learned the plays and got better. And I think there's tons of athletes who are exactly like Chris. You come here, it's big time. You want to be here, and you doubt yourself, and then you got to get over that hump. And oh, my, did he. And I'll tell you, oh, my, if you want a deal, check out the Quantrill Auto Group. They have a great deal. Subaru. Check it out. The Outback. It's a special car, but the deal's special too. 0% interest. 0 for 36 months. Want to go 72 months? 1.9%. And I keep on talking about the XC60, the Volvo, the hybrid, which my wife drives. Sean, we've had it, I think, about 6 weeks. You know how many times I've driven it?
I'm going to guess 0.
Twice.
Oh, you were allowed to drive.
Well, no, the truth is I was needed to drive it. That's without getting into the story, I was needed to drive it. Are you surprised?
No more questions, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Trudy loves the XC60. Smoothest car we've ever had. Smooth. I'm telling you, it explodes. It's smooth. And when you go from the hybrid to the gas, which we haven't done yet, but we tested it before, you don't feel it. You just don't feel it. And it's a beautiful car. It is so comfortable. It is crazy. The Volvo, they have deals on that. And you get 41 miles before you need gas. I don't think we've used a gallon of gas. And eventually we're going to have to use the gas because you can't have it sit there for a year. But using the hybrid saves money. I figured out that I'm probably going to save 2 payments a year. Maybe a little more than 2 payments a year just by using the hybrid. Counting in the electricity, by the way. It's pretty interesting how you can save with it. Okay, Subaru, Cadillac, Volvo, the Quantrill Auto Group. Check it out. The Quantrill family of dealerships, the right place to get you next whatever. Subaru, Cadillac, Volvo, and they promise to get you the best in sales, service, and no gimmicks. My buddy Sean Woods, who's probably going to be chomping on me, coming up next. Alan Cutler, 1300 AM, 92.5 FM.
The Alan Cutler Show on ESPN 92.5 and 1300 AM and on the ESPN Lexington app. Presented by Republic Bank.
Hi, this is Alan Cutler. Have a no-filter comment? Hit the text line, 859-381-1313. 859-381-1313.
Houchins Insurance Group is proud to partner with Auto Owners Insurance, a company that provides opportunity for independent agents to make insurance simple for their clients, offering risk management services that range from a renter's policy for your college student to home and auto coverage for your entire family. Houchins Insurance Group assures you that nobody works harder to keep you protected from life's uncertainties. Reach out to AJ Boss or Zach Bennett at 859-263-2771 to see if Auto Owners Insurance makes sense for you.
My name is Terry Schultz, CEO for the Rutherford County Area Habitat for Humanity. Republic Bank has really been a game changer. They have invested not only financially, but time to really listen so that we can move our mission forward. What I like about Republic Bank is they've come in asking, what are your needs? And I don't know that you get that any other place.
That's Terry's story. Now let's get to work on yours. Republic Bank, time to thrive. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Alan Cutler. The Quantrill Auto Group has a great deal for this month. Subaru. The Outback is special, so check this out. 0%. That's right, 0% interest for 36 months. And if you want to spread it out to 72 months, 1.9%. What a deal. 0% interest for 36 months. Don't forget, the Quantrill family of dealerships is the right place to get your next Subaru, and they promise you the best in sales, service, and no gimmicks.
This is Brent Clark with my daughter, Carlisle.
We want to help you get ready for the holidays. So if you are just headed around the block or far away, stop in, gas up, and get some yummy treats for the car. Check out our holiday specials, including Mentos or Trident Vibes bottle pack gum for $3.99 or Uncle Ray's potato chips 3-ounce bags for $1.99.
So no matter where your holiday travels take you, stop in any Clark's Pump and Shop and get stocked up on holiday candy. And thank you for being a customer.
Clark's Pump and Shop. Return, refresh, refuel.
It doesn't matter if you're wearing blue or red. The best app to bet football is Circus Sports Kentucky. Circus Sports is sports betting the way it should be, with high betting limits, the lowest holds, and exceptional customer service. Bet on all your favorite teams in every game this season, whether it's point.
All right, stand by, calling him now.
Flying Flooring. It's waterproof and durable, making it perfect for active families. It provides a genuine weathered wood look that complements any decor and features an attached pad for added comfort and easy installation. Trust Menards for all your flooring needs. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
W223CV Lexington. ESPN Sports Radio 1392.5, WLXG Lexington, and LM Communications Broadcasting Station. Back to No Filter Radio with Alan Cutler. Podcasts on Apple, Spotify, and Google, Monday through Friday.
Welcome back. Alan Cutler, 1300 AM, 92.5 FM. Always fun talking with Chris Chenault. And just a little reminder, if you need help, Elliott Services is the place to go. 859-255-5788. Need an electrician? They're unbelievable. Chuck Ely turned me on to them. I didn't know Chuck from a hole in the wall. Neighbor said, why don't you call Chuck? He came to our house years ago, took care of us. We had a mess. He fixed quickly. And then we needed help because the VC60, the Volvo we keep on talking about that my wife likes, our system was awful. As a matter of fact, there was a fear of having a fire. No kidding. And so he sent a crew, and the crew did a great job. I trust them. 859-255-5788, 5788, 859-255-5788. 5788. Elliott Services, 100% employee owned, licensed, background check, non-commissioned technicians, whatever you need. Residential heating and air, home generator service, home electrical handyman, EV charger installation and maintenance, heating and air preventative maintenance, voice, data, Wi-Fi solutions, underground utility service and installation of pump systems, HVAC systems, electrical renovations, whatever you need. Elliott, check them out. Elliott Services, 859-255-5788. You walk into Rupp Arena and you look up, and here's his jersey, and it's Sean Woods. He earned the right to get up in the rafters of Rupp. One of the great point guards in the history of this glorious program is kind enough to join us. Sean, how are you?
Good, Bubs. How you doing, man?
I'm good. So I'm going to bet that you will agree with Pope when he said today that, nobody wants Lowe to be out, duh. But by the same token, too, he said in the short run, as you look at it is what it is, it was actually better for the team because you got to look at other options. And if this was long-term, it'd be terrible for Kentucky. So he's playing tomorrow night. He's practicing today, and if there's not a setback, he's playing, but he's scheduled to play, that kind of stuff. And I think it's really important that he plays before Louisville because you can't expect the kid to be perfect. He's sat out for quite a while, and he's going to have to get some, you got to get, you explain when you've been out that long, sometimes it's not as smooth as you would think it would be. Plus, it's not like you who played with the same guys for a long time. He's practiced with these guys, but it's games, so it's different. So I think it's great that this young man will have at least one game to get ready for Louisville.
I totally agree. What bothers me is how severe is this injury that's even a question, first of all. Two, yeah, you're right. Timing is everything. You've been out for, a couple, 2-3 weeks, and, those guys got to get used to you. You got to get your legs up under you because I know you haven't been practicing as much and from a strenuous standpoint as you would normally if you weren't injured. So, he may have some rust to shake off, but I think this team needs him back as soon as possible so they can get back to some normality and play with the point guard. It's hard for a team, no matter how talented you are or whatever, to be playing without your head guy. And we as we all see, it's evident and very obvious that we do need some point guard play. And unfortunately, he's the only true point guard we got on the roster. So he's a very important piece. I'm just hoping and praying that we're not going down the same road as we did last year because these shoulder injuries are wicked, as you can tell. And as you know, I just hope his isn't as severe because shoulders deals, those labrums and things like that, they never go away. So that's the one thing I'm worried about, but hopefully he comes back ready to go. And, this is a good game to come back on to get some timing and some things, and he ain't got to play significant minutes, but he's got to play enough to get some rhythm to be prepared for Louisville after a few more days of practice preparing for Louisville.
Unfortunately, I'm an expert on shoulders with 2 total reconstructive surgeries, and my shoulder will never be the same. What he has is nothing in comparison. Plus, he's an athlete I wasn't, so let's put that in there. But when we were there over a week ago for the practice that Pope was magnificent, allowing the media in and to bring family members, it was just a beautiful few hours. It really was. He was shooting around, and his shot seemed to have good extension, and sometimes he had a little brace on, and sometimes he didn't, but he didn't practice then. And look, I don't know how bad it is, but I'm going to be surprised if he's 100% at any point in time this year because shoulders just linger and linger and linger. And what is it when you have a problem? Sometimes a bump finds your body at the wrong spot, right?
Oh, no doubt about it. My son went through the same deal. When that's the reason why his career was cut short at Tennessee Tech with Pell because he was dealing with the same lingering injury. And I just feel sorry for the kid because he had a lingering injury with the finger yet last year, and this year he's got a lingering injury, a new injury with the shoulder. And there's more pressure playing at the University of Kentucky than there is at Pitt, and that's one of the reasons why Pitt kind of faltered a little bit because he was in and out. I just hope and pray that this is not the same situation because if it is, we're looking at some similar deals with how things went last year with our point guard and Lamont Butler.
They might have a better backup in Denzel Aberdeen. Now, he was a game time decision, which he said afterwards because of a groin. And I mean, I wouldn't want him to be the full-time point, but I think they can win with him. He had 6 assists, a career high, and no turnovers. And when he steps on the court, the athleticism for the team just amplifies. And if he ends up, playing both guard spots and is the backup point and Lowe can play and he's fine, that's actually pretty blank good, because there aren't a lot of teams that have 3 or 4 options at point guard.
No, but you got to at least have 2. And,
okay. I'm good with Aberdeen being number 2. Are you not good with Aberdeen being number 2?
No, no doubt about it. We just don't need him being number 1. We need Lowe to be in there.
I agree.
You always got to have a backup. You know what I'm saying? But your maestro's got to be the guy. And, I'm just hoping and praying that this thing doesn't linger on to where we got to depend on Aberdeen every other game and Lowe's out every other game like Lamont Butler. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm hoping and praying. For us to really get to where we need to be, our point guard's got to be stable. And, Aberdeen's good. I think he's a great talent, but he's not a true point guard that can lead you to the promised land like that. He's a serviceable point guard. And then you're taking him away from what he's really good at being a 2 and scoring. Now what we're missing on this team is a legit playmaker, as you see in these games. And Aberdeen's not a legit playmaker. Aberdeen's is a legit guard that can play point, but he's not the maestro that Lowe is. And I just wish we had one more pure point guard as a backup, more so than just depending on Aberdeen to be that.
I buy that, but here's the problem that I'm sure you're going to agree with. In today's world of NIL, there's 2 issues. Now, the 22 million roster and stuff like that, but if you have a great point guard, they don't want to be the backup. They want to play. And if you're going to pay that much money, they're not coming here. And the Lewis kid who was coming, as you know, and fans know, decommitted right away, said, screw it, I'm not coming here because I'm not going to start. And he's at Villanova starting right away. So even money wasn't, in my opinion, was not going to get the kind of backup that you would like to have. I don't know of a school that's going to have, or it's going to be really rare, a backup point guard good enough to lead any team in today's money world to the Final Four. You agree?
No. There are point guards out there that's not highly ranked that are pure point guards that can be a backup point guard until, they get to somewhere where, okay, I can go somewhere else and be the starter. But you can get a really good high school point guard or a really good mid-major point guard that's happy to be in that type of situation. You just can't say, he didn't have to be, a 5-star or a pro, but he can be good enough to be a backup and still help you win basketball games.
Okay, let me try it this way. I don't think you think where it's coming from. Maybe backup to help win games, but if the first guy is out, whoever that mid-major guy, whatever.
He's a pure point guard. He knows how to play the point guard. He's not being a 2 that's got to learn how to play point. You got a point guard. He may not be. There's other teams out there that's got backup point guards. Trust me.
Backup point
you got to
guard.
have more than one point guard.
Okay,
you got to have more than one point guard.
Backup point guard's good enough to make it to the Final Four and maybe win a national championship?
If you got 2 guys that came in there and the guys, you know what I'm saying, you that's called recruiting. And you got to have a guy that you got to have another backup point guard. You got to have another guard. That's just like you got two guards. You got three guys. You got 2 or 3 got 3 wings or 4 wings. It's the same deal with a point guard. Everybody's not going to start. You got one guy that that's the starter, and you got the other guy that comes off the bench. Now, you may not be able to keep him for 1 year, but still, you got to have one. Who's to say that you're going to keep this point guard for 1
position, year? The point, I'm not saying the person doesn't exist. I think it's much tougher as a point versus a 2 or 3 where they're interchangeable parts.
It's not that tough.
It's
really not that tough. Really.
Okay, as the season goes on, as you watch basketball, I'm not saying there's nobody, Sean. I'm saying it's more difficult to get a backup point guard. Or maybe they thought that Aberdeen would be a good enough backup. Or maybe they thought that Chandler would be a good enough backup. Chandler is not a point guard. Maybe he changes, but he's not a point guard now. There's no question about it. Mm-hmm. But the point is, I wonder what their thought process was. You're making a really good point. I've always thought the point guard was different. that a lot of guys can play 2 and 3 and that kind of stuff. You were a point guard. What would have happened to Kentucky in your last year if you couldn't play that year?
Travis Ford.
Well, now you're talking about somebody who's a great point guard. Okay. How often does it
You know what I'm
happen? How often does that happen where you're going to have a Travis
Richie Farmer.
If Richie had to play point the whole year, could this team have gone to the Final Four?
I don't know about that, but you know, it's hard to get to the Final Fours even if you do have a great point guard.
No question.
But Richie was good enough. Richie was good enough to be serviceable, because that's what he did. You know what I'm saying? He knew how to make other players better. When you just got straight scorers, you know, and you know, point guard's different. You know what I'm saying? And that's why this team is so stagnant right now, because you can't win just running your offense. You win with players and playmakers. And when you only got one true point guard, one maestro as a playmaker, what if he gets in foul trouble? You know what I'm saying? I've never seen a team only have one point guard in the stable. I've never seen that.
Okay.
I don't know a team right now that has one point guard in the stable. That's not very smart.
Okay, so you're saying that Pope wasn't smart of how the roster was constructed because there isn't a backup point guard if Lowe would be out a significant amount of time.
As you're seeing right now, that's how it's panning out.
Well, here's what I don't know, and you could be very right on this. I haven't seen Denzel run the point enough to know if he would be serviceable or not. I do know that in the second half and it's Nichols, we both get that, but the offense totally changed when he took over the point.
Okay, go ahead, Bubs. Say it again.
No, I just said when Aberdeen took over the point in the second half and Chandler was the 2 and said to himself, as Pope pointed out in his press conference today, which we carried live here as we always do on 1300 AM, 92.5 FM, that Chandler in his self-talk said, make the simple play, make the simple play, make the simple play. And he hit threes and he had that dunk and all that kind of stuff. And so when Aberdeen took over the point, the offense was totally different in the second half. You have to admit that.
Well, it was, but you're playing against Nichols. You're not playing against Georgetown. You're not playing against SEC. You're not playing against St. John's.
And that's fair.
You know what I'm saying? So you can get away, and you can get away with that. Aberdeen is a better guard than anybody that they got on their roster. But when you're playing against somebody who's just as good and just as talented, and they got the specialties, you know what I'm saying, at that level, that's what you got, you know, you're going to struggle, you know. And that's what it looked like against Georgetown. And then when you come back in the second, you know, you play Nichols, you know, Nichols just, you know, sooner or later they got fed up because they couldn't throw one in the ocean. And, you know, you're able to get out, you know, and you're playing at Kentucky too. So, but now you can't afford that. You need your players. And you already had in your mind how this thing was supposed to look. And you don't, evidently, we didn't think about injuries and so on and so forth. You got to have another point guard. You can't just go through a year with just one point guard. You can't. That's not very smart.
So are you suggesting that if something happened to Lowe's shoulder and he's out for an extended period of time, it could ruin the season for
Now
Kentucky?
they got to make a total overhaul adjustment. And now he can't play the way he wants to play.
Well, they didn't play
Going
the
into
way
the
they wanted to
season,
play
he had
last.
an idea.
They didn't play the
And
way
guess what?
he wanted to last year.
And you saw the results, right? You saw the results. They struggled. It was harder to win games.
Who would you rather have, Lowe or Butler with 2 healthy shoulders?
Butler.
Me too.
Butler was already proven as a Final Four guard.
Yeah, and tough. I'm not saying Lowe isn't tough, but physically strong.
Exactly.
I mean, physically strong and smart and calm. I'm telling you, they might have kept on. I'm not saying they won a national championship, but they might have gotten to the Final Four had he been 100% healthy.
No doubt about it. He had more experience than any guard in America at getting to the Final Four. He was the only point guard coming back in America that made it to the Final Four.
With the brains that you like at point guard, because you're particular.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Matter of fact,
you know what you are,
Sean?
marvelous his toughness.
You know what you are? You're a snob when it comes to point guards, and you've earned that right.
I am.
You know what I love? I set you up to get you, but I knew you would say I am.
I am. I just am. Ask my players over here in Scott County.
Okay, so how many times did you dunk when you played college basketball?
One time.
What game?
Ole Miss. During the Gulf War. I'll never forget it. And I did it because my best friends were sent over to war. They went to the military that I grew up with.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it possible?
Normally, I was too tired to be trying to get up there and then come back and press and all that. I try to save my legs as much as possible.
Hope there's tape of this. I'm not ashamed to tell you this. I don't remember you ever dunking.
You probably didn't even watch that game that day because
I
there was
watched
so much
every
going
game
on,
you played. Stop it.
Well,
I
you'll see
covered
me
a lot of
flush one.
games on the road. I didn't miss a second.
I didn't dunk one like Dirk Minifield, but I got one.
Wait a second. I didn't miss a second of basketball when you played. Not a second. That was my job. I love my job, but that was my job. Shame on you for saying that or suggesting I watched the game. You ought to be
sorry,
ashamed.
Buzz. I'm sorry.
You're really kicking. Was the game at Rupp?
No, was that Ole Miss?
Then I probably didn't go. I only went to Ole Miss 2 or 3 times in all the years. So no, I mean it's a long. We drove. One time we flew.
Right.
I think we did fly one time. No, we flew into whatever. But when we went down there, we would have to drive. It's a long drive. Hey, we had to drive big time TV. We had to drive to Dallas or Houston for the Final Four.
Yeah, you got to drive through Memphis.
I know. I was sleeping.
All that. I drive that all the time because when I was coaching at Mississippi Valley, I had to drive that when I came home to visit.
Well, that's because you had the big time budgets.
No.
You couldn't jump like Chandler and ever do a dump like Chandler. Just admit it.
No, I couldn't. No. Not too many people can.
He's got hops now.
He's always been an athlete now. He's just now gotten stronger or whatever, but he's always been an athletic guard, even when he was in high school.
Well, if you look at how they cut up the tapes in high school, which is always the best plays and stuff like that, you saw his hops in high school. I mean, he had it there, and I still think he's not back to where he would normally be if he didn't go on a mission 2 years. It might not be till next year, with another year of weightlifting and all that kind of stuff, to see where he is. That's just me. I think his potential is unfreaking believable.
His athleticism is his athleticism, but his game is going to continue to get better just because, he's so behind. I mean, it's hard to sit out 2 years and then come back. Not from an athletic standpoint. He's so young. Just his game is going to continue to get better, but, he's never going to be a point guard. He's just going to be a really good player that you said that has potential to be a pro, but he won't be a pro being a point guard.
Anything else about Kentucky basketball that hits your cranium right now?
I think that Pope is he's saying all the right things and he's concentrating on the right things, and he has to do it even more on the defensive end. That's got to be their call. I don't think they're going to be a pretty offensive team like his teams have been in the past. I think they're going to be a grinding team. But he's got to figure out some ways to create buckets untraditionally instead of just with the system.
How's your team doing in Scott County?
We're getting there, man. We're working hard every day, getting better every day. We're, trying to get through this injury bug. These kids have never worked that hard before, so their body's going through a transformation right now. But, we're getting better. I'm looking forward, very optimistic, and, looking forward to the season starting. Looking forward to, and now I'm sure they are too, ready to play against somebody else.
Sounds normal, and I bet there won't be 10 teams in the state that'll be in better shape than yours.
Well, I hope not. We're trying. That's what we're gearing towards.
I would like to see how hard you're really running them.
You need to come watch.
It's a long drive to Scott County.
Oh, my gosh.
It's not in my budget. You know what? Last thing, you didn't put garbage cans at the end of each side of the court like Rock did for you when you guys were throwing up when you first saw Patino and Rock and you came to Kentucky. You're not pushing the kids that hard, are you?
Not to where I got to put a garbage can at both ends, but it's been pretty challenging, which is good. They're embracing it and they're seeing the difference.
Okay. How many times did you throw up in the first month of practice at Kentucky with Rock and Pitino?
I let Rock break me one time before I was throwing up. That was it. That was the first time I came off a plane coming from the Olympic Festival, and it was just me and him in Memorial Coliseum, and he put me on that Coach Buddy and made me go up and down 27 times.
You did Coach Buddy 27 times?
27 times.
And
I refused to let him make me throw up right then, but we got to talking and sitting down, and that stomach got to bubbling, and then he asked me did I need a garbage can. I told him no. Then when it started to come, that garbage can was on the other side of the gym, and it was like an oasis, like it was so far away from me. And soon, you get to spitting and all that. I knew it was coming. I just took a slow little walk over there, and I barely made it, but I made it, and I was so mad because he got me.
That sounds like you, and that sounds like Rock.
That was one of the things that mentally I was not going to let those guys break me down, and that's what I tried my best to hang my hat on.
That's why you were a great player. It's pretty simple. Tough mentally and physically. Brett, bless you, brother. I will make it out to Scott County. I'm going to. I promise you.
Even if I had to come pick you up and bring you over here myself, I will do it. You gonna come watch us play?
I am going to watch you play. I promise you. You have my word. I want to sit on the bench right by you, though. You going to let me do that?
We'll talk about that. That's negotiable.
Negotiable. We should do the negotiations on the air. Not today. I'm out of time, and you got to go back to class and stuff like that. We ought to do negotiations on the air. Jimmy's off today.
We can do that.
We'll get Jimmy involved. What the hell could you want from me for negotiations sitting on the bench?
I have no, but I could think of something.
I know you will. No. You don't need any help. Get off my phone. Bless you, brother. You're the best. I knew at the end you'd find a way to get me. Get out of here. Thank you, Sean.
Love you too, man.
Love you too, brother.
All right, buddy.
See ya. Sean, his goal is to do something every time we talk.
I appreciate that about him.
Oh, my goodness. Our guest put the wrong time, Felton Huggins, on his calendar, so I guess he can't do it.
He's here.
Oh, he is?
Well, hopefully.
Okay, well, we need to.
It says he's here.
Okay. He just sent me a text that he apologizes. I'm looking forward to talking to him. Well, we're going to take a break. We're going to take care of some business, as they say, pay the bills. I don't know which soundbite do you like better for our clip of the day? When he talked about how Kentucky doesn't have a point guard, or the one time he threw up at Kentucky.
That's a tough one. I think we're going to throw it up.
Yeah, we're going to use the throwing up. I'll send you the time code, right? The throwing up, and we might use the soundbite tomorrow. How does that sound? So you're going to cut two things, if that's okay.
Yeah, it should be fine.
Yeah, you've only cut 1,000 things from me, right, Jimmy? About 5,000 things, something like that. Yeah, and I appreciate both of you. Did I just say something nice about you? Must be hot in this room. Terry Page, Terry. People need to know that's our relationship, right? Can we be nice to each other?
I think we were once.
Really?
Yeah, maybe. We had to be. We stood next to each other at the Derby in the paddock, so decorum.
Well, that was true, but you have to be on your best behavior there. That doesn't count. Terry Page, Terry Page, a great licensed massage therapist in Butler, Monday and Tuesday in Lexington, and she's changed locations. Text her. It's 2035 Regency Road, Suite 3. Apparently, there's 2 Suite 3s, and on the door it says both sides. So I don't know because I haven't been there yet. I'm going to go today. But anyway, text her to get an appointment. She's spectacular. Terry Page, Terry Page, 859-373-0578. My friend, she's a healer. And by the way, these massages are rough because she digs into your issues. And I'm old and I have a lot of issues. But she has helped me tremendously. So, she can do a nice, soft, smooth massage. I've never gotten one. She tells me she can do it, but there's always things I need to have worked on. And sometimes it's an hour or two after I'm done that you all of a sudden, boom, you start feeling better. Call her, text her, 859-373-0578. Some really good things happen at Kentucky State, and happy to give them some love, and what they're doing is really cool, so we'll do that coming up next. Thank you, Sean Woods. Appreciate you, buddy. Alan Cutler, 1300 AM, 92.5 FM.
The Alan Cutler Show on ESPN 92.5 and 1300 AM and on the ESPN Lexington app. Presented by Republic Bank.
Hi, this is Alan Cutler. Have a no-filter comment? Hit the text line, 859-381-1313. 859-381-1313. Hi, this is Alan Cutler. The Quantrill Auto Group has a great deal for this month. Subaru. The Outback is special, so check this out. 0%. That's right, 0% interest for 36 months. And if you want to spread it out to 72 months, 1.9%. What a deal. 0% interest for 36 months. Don't forget, the Quattro family of dealerships is the right place to get your next Subaru, and they promise you the best in sales, service, and no gimmicks.
My name is Terry Schultz, CEO for the Rutherford County Area Habitat for Humanity. Republic Bank has really been a game changer. They have invested not only financially, but time to really listen so that we can move our mission forward. What I like about Republic Bank is they've come in asking, what are your needs? And I don't know that you get that any other place.
That's Terry's story. Now let's get to work on yours. Republic Bank. Time to thrive. Member FDIC.
Houchins Insurance Group is proud to partner with Auto Owners Insurance, a company that provides opportunity for independent agents to make insurance simple for their clients, offering risk management services that range from a renter's policy for your college student to home and auto coverage for your entire family. Houchins Insurance Group.
Welcome back. Alan Cutler, 1300 AM, 92.5 FM. There's some really good things going on in Kentucky State. We've talked to this gentleman before. Felton Huggins Jr. is the head coach, and what you like to see when somebody takes over a program that the obvious, they improve. 3-7 the first year, 5-6 last year, 7-2 now. That's a big change in any program. Felton, one, thanks for joining us. And you sent me some tape. And I don't know who's throwing the ball in the air the most in college football this year. I have no clue. I mean, I see a lot of clips. Tell me about your quarterback. And it's like he's throwing the ball a country mile. And obviously it's the highlights, but I don't care. He's throwing the ball a country mile and hitting the receiver in stride. Tell me about that. Your receivers had over 250 yards. Is that right?
Yeah, so, man, first and foremost, Alan, thank you for having me on, man. It's always a blessing and great to talk with you. And so, yes, man, we actually employ a two-quarterback system. And, man, like I told you, Hal Mummy helped me with all this, and I've been blessed to be able to meet Coach Mummy, and he taught me the offense that we run. And so, we run a two-quarterback system, and in the air raid, you honestly just use one guy. But we actually have two. We have two that can kind of do two different things. We have one that, he's a big arm, and then we have another kid that's pretty athletic, but also is very, very accurate. And so, man, this past week, man, this last week, Denham Johnson had one of the game for ages. He was 16 of 21, only 5 incompletions, threw for 391 yards and 5 touchdown passes. I had 2 receivers over 100 yards. I had 1 with over 250. Darius Cyprian and John McCall, man, these 2 kids on the perimeter, man, I mean, they're unguardable. That's just but it's honestly just the diligence and the work that these kids put in each and every day. Coming off the bye week, man, they threw a lot. When most kids take time off, they want to continue working. And that's just a testament to the program that we're building over here. And we started 3 years ago, and we're just so excited for what we're building and what it's coming to now.
Are the crowds getting better for home games?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, it's been amazing. And they kind of, one of the things that helped us when I told you when I got here, when I first talked with you, that first year was family. Forget about me, I love you. For being understanding in the things of what we do, not only within our program, but only a hope that stuff goes in our campus and then into the community. I hope we can make the world a better place. So for us, man, we went out in the community those first couple of years and just did a lot of just boots on the ground, just letting them know us and letting them know what we're about. And so, man, the community has been showing up and showing out. Last week was actually a senior day plus Frankfurt Day, where everybody in the community comes to the game for free. And so, man, it was a really good crowd and a really good showing, and we put on a really good offensive explosion for those guys. And, man, they were excited. And so, man, they're just happy to have really good Kentucky State football here back in the Commonwealth State, in the state capital.
Easy or tough to recruit on your level of college football, since the big boys take most of what's deemed the higher recruits, but there's a lot of kids all over who can flat out play?
Yes. Man, I would say, Alan, I wouldn't say it's easy, but also it's not hard work if you love what you do. The thing about me, I'm big on relationships because I was that guy. Again, I was that diamond in the rough kid that I played quarterback my whole time in high school, and then Al Mummy found me after I left Grambling, was running track, and was like, hey, you're going to be a receiver, and turned me into an All-American, and I own every record at Southeastern. I'm in the Hall of Fame. And so for me, it's about finding those guys that love football, 1. 2, have goals. You have to have goals when you come play for me, because if you have goals, that means you're willing to chase something. You're willing to chase something on and off the field. And then 3 is just relationships, Just say John McCall. John McCall played for me at McNeese. He was second team All-Southland Conference, transferred to ULL and University of Louisiana Lafayette. Didn't play much there, but had a really good relationship with me. And I just told him, man, you want to come catch the ball a lot? You know I am. He was like, yeah, come on. Chad Elsie was a kid out of Louisiana that I found that was the leading rusher in the state. Not one state school offered him. And I was shocked. I was like, oh, my goodness. And I was like, when I called, I was like, Coach, man, why anybody got this kid? And say, Coach, I don't know. He's on the way to probably being all freshman, first team, all freshman conference player of the year. He's number 3 in the conference in touchdowns with 10 on the season. So, man, it's just relationships and just having a due diligence about what you do, what you want, and what you're looking for. And then just finding kids that love football and have fun. I mean, that was me. And so I like to have kids that kind of relate to me and relate to how we do things, and our staff do things as well.
Well, kids always fall through the tracks, and you got to really work to find those kids, but there are kids out there all the time. Without knowing this young man, was he too short or too small or too light? I mean, let's put it this way.
Chad?
You lead the state in rushing. I want to look at you. Even if I'm LSU, I want to look at you. Maybe it's not the right size for LSU, but I want to look at you. Am I nuts?
Right. Yeah, I would agree, but I would say this, Alan. Chad is 5'10", about 195, 205, has a really low center of gravity. Man, he's a tank, but he also can catch out the backfield. He can lower the boom. Like, I would just say this, and again, in this day and age, everybody wants to elevate. I mean, I tell kids, you do no different than coaches. Like, coaches get an opportunity to go coach at a higher level. If you get an opportunity to coach at play at a bigger level, then you take that opportunity. There's nothing I can do to stop you. And honestly, I more ingratiate that, because to me that lets me know we're doing something right. And I would just say this: that kid right there, he probably won't be with me that long. It just is what it is. He's that good. And actually, it's a blessing, for that to happen. And I wanted to say I had a part in that. If he stays with me, I'm thankful for it, and I love to keep him. But also, he's different.
Okay, and he's probably going to get offered money you just can't pay. Do you have to deal much with NIL at all? Can you guys do that? Some programs can a little bit, some can't.
Yeah, we're doing actually a really good job right now, and success helps. You know, we're actually starting a collective right now. We're doing some things within the city that's helping us, and so you know, for us, we don't want all this to be about money. Again, at this level, you know, it's for the love of the game. You know, you're paying to go to school, so we can give some things as far as like, hey, you get a gift certificate to eat at Longhorn Steakhouse for over a month, or you know, you get this product or things like that. So, you know, we're doing some good things as far as building a collective, and like you say, having a successful program helps, and it gets more people want to come over in the doors and help you. But again, you know, when it comes to, you know, a bigger school being able to get a lot more money, you know, that's just a dynamic in the landscape of college football right now. It's kind of like a trickle-down effect. We were just talking about it today. FCS schools post from D2 schools, FBS schools, G5 schools post from FCS schools, and then Power 5 schools post from G5 schools. It's just it's an assembly line, man. So you kind of got to embrace it. You can fight it if you want, and you maybe be successful, but also if you embrace it and you know, you find some kids that want to stick with you, that's cool. But also if you embrace it and get good kids there, you know, it'll be beneficial for you.
Makes sense. You keep in touch with Mummy at all?
Oh, 100% all the time, man. I'm so first and foremost, man, just to see for man, the big guy, man, still in this thing, coaching at this man age, that's kind of how I want to be. Man, and you can tell, man, Coach Mummy loves football.
Yeah,
I don't
he does.
think he could do anything else without doing it. And I know he's had some struggles with injuries down there. But I will tell you this: if he comes back again next year, and with the talent down there in Louisiana, please believe he's gonna get it rolling, especially offensively. And that's all he's concentrating on too. So he's gonna go find a quarterback. He's always gonna get that. He's gonna go find receivers, and he's gonna go find O-linemen, and he's gonna throw it all around the yard. And I'm just excited to be able to say that I played for that guy, and I'm excited to see what he builds there because it's gonna be special.
The last time I talked to him, he and his wife were driving to Lafayette to start the job. He did the interview, a conversation when he was in the car, and he agreed to do it. And I'm saying something about how the connection. He goes, "Oh, well, we're driving to Lafayette now." It's kind of, well, you could have told me. I would have done another day. No, I'm happy to do it. My wife is driving. It's all good. I mean, that's just so Hal, you know, just eccentric.
That's Hal.
And could I see him coaching when he's 75, 80? Yeah, I can, by the way.
Yes.
I mean,
yes,
I can, but
I can see him doing anything else.
What is the number one thing you learned from Hal Mummy?
Man, just honestly, I've learned a lot of things from Coach Mummy, man. Play the next play, you know. Don't harp on the play that happened before, because if your offense is explosive and you're doing it the right way, you'll get that yardage back. The biggest thing, man, is just to do it your way. Don't get so caught up in the way how everybody else does it, because at the end of the day, you're your own special sauce. You know, you are the leader of the program, and once you take a program or whatever the case may be, you have to be good with the consequences, good, bad, and differently. And I would say being here these 3 years, you know, I kind of what I told you when I got here the first year, you know, kids were failing, and most coaches were telling me, Coach, now you got to go through spring, you got to set your program up, you got to build your culture. And I was just like, I can do that, but I mean, what am I doing these kids again? It's about on and off the field for me. And so, you know, I sat back and I was like, well, nah, we got to pass because you're not going to be here anyway. You're not going to be successful in life. And so we canceled spring and sat half those guys out. And actually it was beneficial for us. And that's why the program is where it is today. And I thank Coach Mummy for that, because I wouldn't have had the courage like most coaches do. They're going to go back and lean on what they've learned from everybody else. And at the end of the day, man, you got this opportunity and you don't want to lose it or get fired after a couple of years because you did it some way someone else did it, because you're not that person. Don't be afraid to be uncomfortable. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. And so, yeah, I learned that from Coach Mummy, man, and I appreciate him for that. And you know, that's why we've been able to do the things that we've been able to do here.
By the way, that's one of my favorite expressions, too, getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. Felton Huggins has been kind enough to join us. Give a plug for your next game and what time and who you're playing.
Oh, most definitely. Well, man, Alan, we're on a historic run right now. We won a 6-game winning streak. We won 8 of our last 11 games within the past 2 years. We actually ranked number 6 in the regional to go to the playoffs this year. So we went out. We're in a good shot to go do something here that's never been done before. I think Kentucky State never has had a playoff berth since in their history. We have a chance to play for the conference championship as well. if we win this week versus Lane College at Lane University, at Lane College at 2 p.m. Central Time. And so we win and Benedict loses and we're in the conference championship. And that's the second time in school history that they've ever played for a conference championship. And one of the things our guys feel, man, we feel we are the better ball club. After we lost to Gremlin in overtime when we were in charge of that game for the entire game. Our guys sat there and said, like, from this point on, we'll never let another team mess around with us and play and never leave it up a chance. And our guys have went out and dominated ever since then. So, man, come out, check out a good brand of football in Commonwealth State. And Kentucky State going to do some really good things here in this state, man, and on this playoff run when we get there. So you guys watch out.
One, thank you for reaching out to me again. Two, I was very impressed with you the first time we talked. And three, bless you, dude, for what you're doing. You care about kids. You've gone from 3 to 5 to 7 wins, and you're not done yet. You're doing a heck of a job at Kentucky State. Kentucky State is lucky to have you. Thanks for your time. I wish you the best of luck.
Appreciate it, Alan. And always, man, thank you for just giving us the opportunity to shed light on our program. And bless you, man. Have a blessed day.
You too. Thank you. Sean, he's done a heck of a job at Kentucky State from 3 to 5 to 7, and he's not done yet. And Sean, this tape, the kid's throwing it like 60-something yards in the air. And again, it's highlights, but so what? And he had 2 passes. He's hitting the kid in perfect stride. I mean, just like stick your hands out, 60 yards. Boom. It was really very, very impressive. And the respect he has for Hal Mummy. I'm going to text Hal and tell him that Felton was on. Hal's just great. He's just a very fascinating human being. I'll tell you, it's a company that will take care of you. Elliott Services, 859-255-5788. Need an electrician? Elliott Services. Need work done on your house? This is what they do. Elliott Services. They've taken care of me. That's why I'm talking about them. If they weren't good, I wouldn't talk about them. 859-255-5788. 100% employee owned with licensed, background check, non-commission based technicians. Residential heating and air with anything you need. Home generator services with anything you need. Home electrical handyman, you get it with anything you need. EV charger, installation and maintenance, heating and air preventatives, maintenance programs, voice, data, Wi-Fi solutions, underground utilities, HVAC system, service and installation of traditional heat pump systems, electrical renovations and fit-ups, fix-ups. Anything you need. Elliott Services, 255-5788. 859-255-5788. And don't forget about my friends at Blue Lotus Health, 859-533-0914. Ramon Carriega, now also providing a licensed massage therapist. Ramon, check him out. Acupuncture, he's been great for me. I've told you this many, many times. And now when I go, it took me a while. I'm not gonna not tell you the truth. I had to get comfortable doing acupuncture. Now I can sleep through it, which means it helps you even more. It's needles. It's wonderful. I wish I did it 20 years ago, and I hope to do it 20 years from now. Acupuncture. Now also providing a licensed massage therapist. 859-533-0914. Thank you to Chris Chenault. Thank you to Sean Woods. Thank you to Felton Huggins. Lowe is playing tomorrow night against Valdosta. Ladies today, Monmouth. Have yourself a great day. Thank you for listening. Sean, thanks for your help, dude. I think Jim will be back tomorrow.
Yeah, he will.
Jimmy at 10. I'll be back at noon. Brad Taylor coming up next. Have a blessed day. Thank you for listening. Please tell one friend. You're helping spread the word tremendously. Alan Cutler, 1300 AM, 92.5 FM.
This is Brent Clark with my daughter, Carlisle.
We want to help you get ready for the holiday.
Give me a second here.
Okay.
Felton's a good dude.
Yeah. Where did he didn't play here, did he? Where did he play?
No, but he played for Mummy. I think it was, if I remember,
Valdosta.
Valdosta State. And he, as a matter of fact, when he was the other time, it's only the second time he's been on. He reached, and I told him after he was on, reach out to me, whatever. And he said, when I get the program rolling, I'll reach out. Okay. But the tape of this kid, I mean, one of his kids had, 2 kids had over 100 yards. This kid, I think he had 253 yards. I mean, really, who the hell has 253 yards? Who is on tomorrow? Give me a second. And you'll cut up that other bite too?
Which one?
Sean for tomorrow that I'll use in the show, and then Sean with the throwing up with the caption.
Yeah, I'm not. Shayna's off today, so I don't know if she'll do it, and I don't know how to do a caption, but we'll get something up.
Okay. Okay. Brandon.